Good news, the Union won the battle. This was a real big turning point in the Civil War, and people really felt like they had hope that the war was going to come to an end finally. Still, both sides suffered huge losses. Lots of people died. And the Union was starting to lose its steam and wanted to keep on fighting with all of its own people dying. Lincoln, the president of the Union and of America, Lincoln wanted to give people something to fight for. And so he showed people what the Civil War was really going to do for America. Lincoln gave his speech to a group of people that needed to be encouraged. Lincoln was able to articulate what America was really all about. Lincoln said that
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met here on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of it as a final resting place for those who gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember, what we say here, but can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they have thus far so nobly carried on. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation shall have a new birth of freedom, and that this government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Lincoln was more or less saying that America needs a restart, to be remade, to be born again and become something even bigger than we were before. Basically, after the Civil War would be over and slavery would be done for, America would be the true America this time. That is a government by the people, of the people, for the people. No longer would America deny people their rights.